Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. This is the second installment or video of the series of the prep and protection of the Competition M5. We have it pretty well clean. So let's concentrate on the wheels and the wheel arches right now and the calipers, get them perfectly clean, prepped, and then protected. And we could tuck those away and really concentrate on the painted surfaces afterwards. Now, we have it clean, the wheels and the calipers, but we want to hit it with the Built Hamber Cleanser Fluid. And this really reminds me of a solvent-based prep, panel prep. It's very, very effective, easy to work with, and you just spray it on the surface or onto a microfiber towel and work it into the surface and remove old waxes, old sealants, any oils from handling the panels or the wheels from your fingerprints or bumping up against it. And by the way, at the dealership, who knows what was used on it? It could have been washed with a car wash that has gloss enhancers or Carnauba or a sealant in it within the formula. So we want to remove everything before protecting it, and we are ready to protect. When it comes to picking a wheel coating and a caliper coating, we want to go with a high temperature coating. This is a competition sedan, so it has some weight to it. It's a meaty vehicle and has a heavy duty braking system. There are 3 levels or categories of temperatures reached within a few classes of vehicles, so let's go over just a few. A lot of the smaller passenger cars, lighter ones, the braking systems can reach and sometimes exceed 400 to 500 degrees. On a competition car like this, performance vehicles, heavier vehicles, sedans, and larger passenger vehicles, you're looking at 800 to 1,000 degrees. And then track vehicles are slightly above that. When we talk about utility vehicles or work vans, vehicles like that, they can actually reach 1,500 degrees. So this coating here is going to be able to handle a competition or a performance vehicle, a sedan, this size. I'll pass on the microsuede applicators for wheels. I have a bunch of these cheaper microfiber type material on a foam block. They get in, you could squeeze them and get in more of the tight, intricate designs as well. But these work well, and just throw them away afterwards. So we have the wheel protected now. Not only does it look absolutely fantastic, but it's going to be protected for quite some time. And brake dust, even with the brake package that is on here, will pretty much be non-existent. While the wheel is properly curing, and we let it cure before I handle it again, we're going to take care of the wheel arches and the finished calipers. Oh, by the way, those rotors, which are impressive, very heavy duty, you can take care of that rust with something called, and remember this, Hyde's Serum. You can Google it, find it on maybe Amazon. If I remember, I'll put a link down below for you. That'll take care of the rust on those rotors. In the wheel arches, I'm spraying Carpost Multi-X Cut 3-to-1. That's going to easily take care of the light dirt on these inner fender well plastic liners. We're also going to spray the caliper and clean that as well. After agitating the wheel arches to my satisfaction, I'm just taking a heavily diluted rinseless wash and rinsing off that dirt and foam down onto the mat. That is followed by firing up the air compressor, attaching the air chuck to the hose, and blowing out the inner fender well area and all the components inside to make sure they're perfectly dry before protection. If I don't have to wash it again, I'll hit that rotor with the Hyde serum to clean it up and prevent rust. But now it's time to protect the caliper, and we're going to use the exact same thing we used on the wheels, Art to Shine Wheel Coat. The inner fender well, all the components in there, they're going to be protected with IGL Eclipse. It's the same thing I use in my undercarriage packages. They are available as well as additions to some of these packages. And that gets sprayed directly onto the surface. No wiping, you just spray it on, walk away. With the wheel now attached and the lug nuts tightened to spec, once again, we have everything completed in the wheel and the wheel arch area. We can now tuck them in and let them go for a couple days, let them cure, and concentrate on the paint. There are more and more of my wonderful subscribers every day, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So I'm going to show you this as much as I can. That's how thick clear coat is, 2 mils. Thinner than a Post-it. I like to go around when the customer comes in for an estimate and show them the measurement of all panels, a couple measurements per panel, and that gives me an indication if there's been work done to it, how much clear coat or the lack thereof, especially these days, the vehicle has. And I will make note of all of this. Let me walk you around the vehicle. Years ago, you walked around the BMW, you would get anywhere from 5 to 5.8 mils of the layers of primer, base coat, clear coat. Now we're barely getting 5 mils. It's mostly 3.9 to 4.9 mils on average on some of these newer vehicles. So not only are they putting less material on, meaning the primer, base coat, clear coat, but it's also now a water-based, meeting EPA standards, and it's much thinner, it's much softer. And I want to share that with you guys so you know what type of materials you're working with when you want to start a correction. Everything seems rather uniform. I'm not getting readings of 11 or 12 mils. That would mean there was repairs and filler, and you'd be, guys, that happens more often than you would think. Repairs with damage from factory or shipping. I'm also going to get readings from the gloss meter, and I'm going to record them as well because we can normally improve them anywhere from 5 to 25% on a brand new car delivered, even if it's wrapped. So that's anywhere from 5 to 10 gloss units on the meter here. Let me show you what we have to start with. Bare, clear, squeaky clean, new clear coat. Remember these measurements. I'm going to try to remember to get measurements as we take each step, and you'll see a step up in gloss as we complete each step, the cleaning, the correction, and the protection. The pre-correction inspection, I'm going to surround the car and flood it with all of the unforgiving lights I have in the shop. That's quite a drastic change from the darkroom correction I like to do when I'm correcting, but it helps me pick up all the imperfections. And I'm going to go around and spot correct the worst of them first, such as areas like this. And there are some. There's never been a new car that doesn't have areas that need to be spot corrected, or the paint didn't need to be enhanced or brought out completely. Before any type of correction is done, I'm going to grab the cleanser fluid from Built Hammer one more time and go around and attack all of the painted surfaces. Again, I don't expect there to be a wax or a sealant from the dealership. Sometimes some of their lackluster coatings that they offer, but normally you want to follow up with some type of a panel prep because you never know if they use, like I mentioned before, a car soap that could have gloss enhancers. A lot of the shampoos have those these days. You want to look out for them. Make sure the shampoos are pH neutral, no gloss enhancers, no carnauba, no polymers in there, just straight up cleaning action. That's why I love CarPro Reset and some of the similar ones I've reviewed lately. I want to be thorough and hit all of the obvious areas, but you also want to put a little attention into the less obvious areas, like the painted surfaces wrapping down underneath the car, the lip of the front bumper, the side skirts, the diffusers in the back. You'd be surprised how many times these areas are overlooked. Out of sight, out of mind, not here. In my area, they are repainting the lines on not only the highways, but all the back roads and county roads. We have a little bit that caught the tire and splashed up onto the panels. No big deal. It's fresh. Citral 266, Goof Off Pro, anything like that will take care of it when it's fresh. In everyone's detailing arsenal, they should have quality masking tape. For me, it's going to be 3M Precision. That's the lime green, low profile, wafer thin tape. Perfect balance of having adhesive that'll stick but not pull paint with it. And in the low profile, the pad can skip over top without peeling up an edge and getting adhesive on your pad. I protect the trim. Not a lot of plastic to speak of, but a lot of black piano finish. Hey, a customer could walk in, grab my attention, the backing plate can hit up against that and damage it. Even after all these years, guys, I protect my backside with little precautions like this. So that's going to do it for this installment. There are a few more. We're going to take care of the paint correction coming up in the next installment. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.